New tonight, a recent school shooting prompts Omaha Public School board members to call on the community for help.
Our Bella Caracta is on your side with how officials are working to keep kids safe. She joins us live in the studio with more.
John Aaron, school safety is top of mind after the Northwest High School shooting. A few board members want to hold town halls and listening sessions to find a solution to school violence, but it's causing drama.
Enough is enough.
One way parents can express concerns is through public comment at the monthly board meeting, like this OPS mother.
My question is, why do we not have metal detectors in our schools?
OPS board member Bree Full says another way could be through town halls or listening sessions.
We want to hear about their experiences and the solutions that they might offer for, to keep our schools safe.
She tells 6 News board president Spencer Head pushed back on the idea of the board sponsoring these.
One of the things that I believe pretty strongly is we shouldn't have board members utilizing these listening sessions to campaign off of. And so that's a recommendation that I made 8 months ago.
5 of the 9 seats on the board are up for election, including Heads, but not Fulls.
If our board president is concerned that we are campaigning and using district dollars to campaign, we can do it a day after the election, okay? We just want to hear from our constituents.
When would you suggest that these town halls would be had?
Personally, I would like to see the district complete our review so we can understand, okay, what led up to the incident? How did the individual get the weapon in the school? How did the district respond? And figure out, put the entire puzzle back together.
Full would prefer the board to work together on this effort to improve school safety, but she says she's already enlisted other community leaders like State Senator Terrell McKinney to organize input. Now, Bree Full expects the investigation into the Northwest High School shooting to wrap up in the next few weeks. Spencer Head tells me he is willing to hold a town hall on school safety. On your side, Bella Caracta, 6 News.
And more news.